There is a silent battle happening inside you every single day. It is not fought with weapons, but with thoughts. Not with enemies outside, but with reactions within. Negative emotions do not knock before they enter. They rush in anger, jealousy, fear, frustration. They take control before you even realize what happened. Stoicism teaches that the greatest form of freedom is not controlling the world around you. It is controlling your response to it, and the moment you master this, you become untouchable. Most people believe emotions are automatic and unavoidable. They say, "That's just how I feel." But the Stoics believed something deeper. They believed emotions are shaped by interpretation. It is not the event that breaks you. It is the meaning you attach to it when someone disrespects you. The pain does not come from their words. It comes from your judgment about those words. This is where your power lives. Between what happens and how you respond, there is space. In that space is your freedom. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius wrote that you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This is not motivational fluff. It is mental discipline. When you understand that your reaction is a choice, you stop being a puppet of circumstance. You stop allowing random situations to dictate your internal state. You begin to stand firm. Negative emotions often feel overwhelming because they move fast. Anger feels urgent. Fear feels immediate. But urgency is not authority. Just because something feels strong does not mean it deserves control. The Stoics trained themselves to pause. Not react, not explode, not collapse. Pause. That pause is where mastery begins. Imagine someone insults you publicly. Most people react instantly. They defend, attack, or shut down. But a disciplined mind asks a different question. Is this within my control? Their opinion is not my character, is their words are not my response. Is when you train yourself to filter every situation through what you control and what you do not, emotional chaos begins to weaken. Another Stoic teacher, Epictetus, once said that people are disturbed not by things, but by the views they take of them. This single idea can change your life. If someone cancels on you, you can interpret it as rejection. Or you can interpret it as redirection. Same event, different meaning, different emotion. The power was always in interpretation. Mastery of emotions does not mean suppression. It does not mean pretending you do not feel. It means examining the feeling before obeying it. When anger rises, ask yourself, what belief is behind this? When jealousy appears, ask, what insecurity is speaking? When fear knocks, ask, what story am I telling myself? Most negative emotions are built on exaggerated assumptions. And assumptions can be challenged. You must understand something uncomfortable. Your mind is not always your friend. It is conditioned by past experiences, fears, ego, and insecurity. It jumps to conclusions. It assumes threats. It protects pride. If you do not question your thoughts, you will become enslaved by them. Stoicism is the practice of cross-examining your own mind. There is strength in restraint. Anyone can shout. Anyone can react. Anyone can lose control. But the person who remains steady when provoked carries a different kind of power. Emotional stability intimidates chaos. When others expect you to break and you do not, you win silently. Consider how often negative emotions come from expectation. You expect respect. You expect fairness. You expect appreciation. When life fails to meet those expectations, frustration grows. The Stoics trained themselves to expect difficulty. Not pessimistically, but realistically. When you expect obstacles, you are not shocked by them. You are prepared. Preparation reduces emotional shock. If you know that criticism is inevitable, you are less shaken when it comes. If you understand that mistakes are part of growth, you are less crushed by failure. Emotional control is not about being cold, it is about being ready. The philosopher Seneca warned that we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Think about that. How many times have you replayed conversations in your head? Imagined worst-case scenarios. Created arguments that never happened. Most anxiety lives in the future. Most regret lives in the past. Very little emotional pain lives in the present moment. Mastering your emotions means anchoring yourself in now. When you focus on what you can do right now, your mind becomes stable. Instead of worrying about outcomes, you focus on effort. Instead of fearing judgment, you focus on character. Instead of obsessing over results, you focus on discipline. This shift changes everything. Emotional control also requires self-awareness. You must notice patterns. What triggers you? Disrespect, rejection, delays, comparison. Every person has emotional weak spots. Stoicism teaches you to study yourself like a scientist. Observe without judgment. When you see the pattern, you can interrupt it. One powerful practice is negative visualization. Imagine losing something you value. Not to scare yourself, but to appreciate it. When you mentally rehearse loss, gratitude increases. Fear decreases. You become less attached to outcomes and more grounded in the present. Another practice is voluntary discomfort. Doing hard things on purpose builds resilience. Cold showers, difficult workouts, waking up early, choosing discipline over comfort trains the mind to tolerate discomfort. And when the mind can tolerate discomfort, emotions lose their control. You must accept that pain is part of life. Loss is part of life. Criticism is part of life. Rejection is part of life. The Stoics did not try to avoid these realities. They embraced them. When you stop demanding that life be easy, you stop being shocked when it is not. There is also power in detachment. Not indifference, but healthy detachment. Caring deeply about your effort, but loosely about outcomes. When you do your best and release the rest, anxiety fades. You are no longer emotionally chained to results. Ask yourself this question daily. What is within my control today? Your thoughts, your effort, your values, your words, your reactions. Focus only on these. Everything else is noise. The world will test you. People will misunderstand you. Plans will fail. Money will fluctuate. Opportunities will disappear. But if your inner world is disciplined, you remain steady. And steadiness is power. Emotional mastery also requires humility. You are not perfect. You will slip. You will react sometimes. The key is not perfection. It is progress. Each time you catch yourself before exploding, you win. Each time you choose silence over argument, you grow. Remember this. Anger feels powerful, but it weakens judgment. Fear feels protective, but it limits action. Jealousy feels motivating, but it poisons peace. Negative emotions promise control, but deliver chaos. Stoicism promises discipline and delivers freedom. When someone tries to provoke you, they're attempting to control you. If they can control your emotions, they control your actions. When you refuse to react impulsively, you remove their power. Silence is sometimes the strongest response. Not because you have nothing to say, but because you choose peace over pride. This is not weakness, it is strategic strength. Your identity should not be built on external validation. If praise lifts you too high, criticism will drop you too low. Build your self-worth on character, not applause. There will be days when emotions feel heavy. On those days, simplify. Breathe slowly. Speak less. Act with intention. Return to what you control. The mind calms when it has direction. True strength is invisible. It is the ability to sit with discomfort without reacting. It is the ability to hear criticism without collapsing. It is the ability to face uncertainty without panic. Master this and you become rare. You become the person who cannot be manipulated through guilt, cannot be pressured through anger, cannot be shaken through fear. Your stability becomes your shield. This is not about becoming emotionless. It is about becoming intentional. Feel deeply, but choose wisely. React slowly, but act decisively. If this message speaks to you, understand that emotional mastery is a daily practice. It is built in quiet moments, in small decisions, in conscious pauses. And if you want more insights like this, more practical Stoic wisdom to strengthen your mind and transform your life, subscribe to this channel. Join a community that chooses discipline over drama and clarity over chaos. The world does not need more reactive people. It needs grounded minds. It needs individuals who can lead themselves before trying to lead others. Master your interpretation. Master your response. Master your mind. And once you do, negative emotions will knock, but they will no longer control the door.